The C is ch. Like, with
che.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I have found myself saying the words wrong. They understand what I'm trying to say, but I don't always say them right. The first phrase I learned was pagarmi ora per favore, which means pay me now, please. I learned I wanted to get paid, and I learned how to order food. So I just kind of, for me, the best way that I've been learning was I go to night school. They give free night classes in our community. Yeah. So I'm the only American girl, and I sit there with my, and I try to be really proper, and I go to night class, and he teaches me a little bit. Alberto does speak to me in Italian, but he talks so fast. Trying to learn a language from just talking to your partner or to someone, it's not so easy.
I guess it's the same thing with Spanish. It's like if I speak Spanish, it's like I'll speak really fast.
Yeah, like when you would talk, I remember even when you would talk to Tony, I was like looking back and forth at you two. I was like, this looks like a ping pong tournament. And then actually it was funny because I remember taking a picture of you and someone, and your phone was in Spanish. And I was like, gee, what is this? Like, I was scared to mess with the settings or something. And you were like, oh, but I was like, her phone's in Spanish. Yeah, it was funny.
It's so funny. I finally had to change my settings for my phone in English because every time my kids, if they want to borrow my phone, because they have their own phone, but if they're doing something on their phone, if they have to look something up, they don't want to use their phone to look it up because they're in the middle, like watching a YouTube video or something.
Of course. How dare you pause? No.
Right. So like, Mom, let me see your phone. And I would give my phone, and they would talk to Suri, and like, Suri, where is blah, blah, blah? And she would be like, no entiendo. Or she would say, oh, ¿quieres que le hable a blah, blah, blah? So then it would just come up with a random name, like say, oh, you want me to call this person?
Right.
And my kids were like, oh, they're like, we forget it's in Spanish. Like, no. And I'm just like, okay, it's in Spanish. Give it to me.
So they don't speak Spanish then?
She doesn't speak Spanish. She understands some Spanish.
Sure.
She'll know some words, but she doesn't fluently speak it. RJ speaks a little now because he took 2 years of Spanish class in high school.
Oh, okay.
So he knows now. Like, now he completely understands, and like, he speaks a little bit, but yeah, a lot more now.
And this is what's interesting to me because, my daughter's learning from being in school. I put her in an Italian school, and being American and living over there, first of all, there's not a lot of, in Spain, south of France, south of Italy, or north of Italy where I live, they don't speak English. Yeah. They just don't. And so it was very difficult for us to adjust immediately, especially for her, because other kids, she was like, Mom, this boy says ciao too much. And, ciao means hello and goodbye. So, she was like, well, goodbye. And he was like, hello, ciao, ciao, ciao. So it was really, people would tell me, wow, I can't believe you two just went over there and alone, and you didn't speak the language. And I said, well, this is the only way we're going to learn, and I really it was really important for me to let her see and live in another part of the world. I just wanted her to learn another language. I wanted her to be bilingual. My mother immigrated from Thailand, and she has never gone back to Thailand. Wow. She didn't teach us Thai. So that's a part of my life. And a lot of my fans actually ask me, they're like, you're Thai, do you speak Thai? I have a huge fan base in Asia. I tour in Asia, and I really know nothing of my family over there, and I don't speak any Thai. So I do find it interesting that coming here, a lot of us lose that. Yeah. We don't teach that to our kids. And so, but Sophia spoke Spanish too, because Tony spoke Spanish to her. His parents spoke Spanish to her. So learning Italian for her was a lot easier because the languages were very similar. Me, though, I was like, what do they say about mommy? She's like, yeah, mommy, they talk about you. And I'm like, so it's kind of funny because I was like, I really truly appreciate people who are bilingual. Yeah. I really do, because I would find any English-speaking person I could, and I was like, please just order me shrimp. I want shrimp, or it's really frustrating to not be able, no matter how, back to what we were talking about, dating, I would meet these hot Italian guys, but I'm like, I don't understand. Like, if you don't, no matter how hot someone is, after a night of not being able to communicate with them, you're just like, I gotta go.
Really?
I mean, if you can't communicate,
right? Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's just so frustrating. You could sit there, but what could you talk about?
Yeah.
You can't even make small talk. You realize you don't understand anything, you know?
That's crazy. I love your hair so much. It's like you're talking and I'm just like looking at your hair. It looks so beautiful. The last time I saw you was like shorter. It's grown so much.
It's grown so much.
It must be the married life. It's like it fits you. It suits you very
Italian
well.
hair. No, I'm just
Yeah, that Italian love.
Yay.
Would you believe that I still have not gotten laid?
How long has it been?
Oh, God, it's been a year and a half.
I went that long. Well, I went about a year. Come on, we're going out. It's Taco Tuesday. We're going out. We're going to open up those tacos.
That's exactly what I was saying. I think the universe.
Tongue tacos, lingua. How do you call that? Lingua.
Yeah.
I have some tongue tacos tonight. If you're just tuning in.
That's what I was just saying. Like earlier, during my opening. Okay, so I'm on my period. I just started. And
today?
Yeah, I started like last night. So yeah, today's like the full day. Yeah, so it's like I just literally took like a Tylenol before I started the show. And then I took 2 of them earlier because, I'm like, I just don't want to cramp. Like I started to kind of cramp a little.
Oh, okay.
But I was telling everyone, I was like, I think the universe is trying to tell me something because my birthday's next week. So the universe is like, okay, we're going to make you bleed before, like the week before. So when your birthday comes, you're clean.
And you're going to have a big celebration.
Yeah. And it's like the universe, I think, wants me to have birthday sex because last night I had the strangest dream ever. Okay, you know who Chris Brown is, right?
Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, the singer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm like, is there another Chris Brown?
I'm like, I am not attracted to this man whatsoever.
Okay.
He's not my type. He's not somebody that I would, be like, oh my gosh, like I want to sleep with.
Right.
I don't find him sexy, like nothing. Nothing at all.
Right.
So last night in my dream, I dreamt that we were in a full-on sexual relationship.
Wow.
And I was like, what the hell? And
did you see a picture? I mean, why did he come in?
That's what I wanted to know because that's exactly what I was saying. It's not like I was listening to his music or I saw him on the internet. I don't even follow this dude. Like, it's not that I saw anything.
Are you connected anyway? Like, was there a guest that you had? No?
Nothing. That's why for me, it was like mind-boggling. It was just like, it's one of those things when in the morning I woke up and I was like totally stumped.
Huh.
I was like really stumped because I was like, what the hell? I was like, I don't even, like, this man's anywhere near. You know?
At all. Well, maybe you're going to see him on next week.
but I'm not attracted to this guy.
You never know, though. Sometimes people float in, but it's just for your birthday.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe that's supposed to be like, because I've never had birthday sex.
Use it, then lose it.
Right.
Use it. But this is your choice, though. I mean, you have chosen to be.
Yes, I've chosen to be.
Like,
it's like one of my guests that I had, Sunny.
It's not like nobody's trying to have tacos, right? With you or anything. You just, I think that I'm not saying you personally, but I would say I know I've gone through this too. It's like what we were talking about earlier with, choosing your work. And when you're very focused on what you want to do, getting something off the ground and doing stuff, days go by, nights go by, and then you're like, whoa, wait a minute, I haven't been open for a while.
Right.
So,
and I think like I reached that point where I'm like, something needs to happen very soon because I actually went to Pleasure Chest a week ago.
Oh.
I went to go buy a couple of things from there. And I was like, and that's like kind of like, I guess, on my way to like, okay, something has to happen pretty soon.
And then you had a dream about Chris Brown.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's very weird.
Because like I bought a toy, I bought some lube.
And
why?
Chris Brown.
Right.
But maybe you just needed a new toy.
I haven't used it yet.
See,
that's what I'm
something's
saying.
Gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, and it's, because I haven't used it, and it's like, and then this dream, and it's like now the universe. It's like it's like I'm bleeding this week. It's like, I think the universe is like setting me up for something next week. So this is why they're like, okay, no, you're gonna bleed this week because next week it's your birthday and you have to be clean,
pure.
Right? It's like you're gonna have nothing.
You're gonna be wide open,
right? It's like,
who would be your like, is there anyone that you're lusting after right now? Like, is there anyone that you're even thinking of?
No, there isn't. I was thinking about this guy, but it turns out that I think he has a girlfriend now.
Oh, okay.
Because this is a guy that, sometime last year, I think it was like last year, we're both attracted to each other. We're both attracted to each other. We could just sit and like stare at each other forever.
Wow.
It was like we just had like chemistry. But the problem with that was I kind of like, I stopped everything. Like I didn't proceed anything. I didn't proceed anything further with him because I found out he knew the guy that, I had on the side for a while.
Okay. Oh.
So I found out that they knew each other.
You can't mix your main dish and your side dishes.
Right.
They have to be like, yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, that means I can't. I'm like, oh, I was like, okay. So then I just kind of like, so this guy was trying to take me out on a date. He's like, let's go. He's like, I want to, let's go out. But I was like, I can't happen. So after when I found that out, of course, I didn't tell him. All I said was like, oh, I'm just busy. I can't. So I just started blowing him off.
Oh, okay.
I started blowing him off because of that. Because I was like, that just can't happen. Even though like like you said, the side dish was just a side dish.
Right.
To me, it's just kind of weird. Like I don't like doing that. And I don't like to mix at all. Like I don't mind if, like I was explaining in one of the other shows, I was saying, I don't mind if it just so happened later in time that they happen to meet each other like later, like once I'm past that phase. Like say, I don't know, like say I was with this guy.
Right.
And then like the second guy that came along, say I was with him much later. And it turns out that they kind of like circled around and later after, met each other. I don't have a problem with that. But if they know each other while, this guy's trying to court me.
I agree.
And I find out, then I'm like, I have a problem with that. It's like, to me, it's kind of like there's too many people out in the world to like have to like, dip into like the same pool.
No,
like, I don't like that.
I completely agree. And if one goes sour and But
you know what? Like for me, it's mainly because I just feel like I'm not that kind of person. Like I don't like to, I'm not that kind of woman that likes to, for lack of a better word, like I don't like to be passed around, I guess, per se. You know what I'm saying? It's not even if it's not them passing me around, but it's like I will feel that way because it's like I was with, like in the same circle.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. To me, it's like, ugh, it's like I don't like that.
I have a question for you then. This is interesting that we're talking about this because there is a guy that I was involved with years ago, a rapper, and his close friend, I never had contact with him. And I would say about 2 years ago, he just randomly reached out to me and was always complimenting me, saying nice things to me. And I always kind of kept it at a distance. I just took it for like face value, because I thought, okay, I don't know him. And anyway, I used to fuck with someone that was close to him years ago, and it ended badly. And like it always does with me. And, he was very, very sweet. And then I stopped talking to him. We still follow each other on social media. Yeah. We still like each other's posts. We still say nice things to each other. But, he wrote me like 5 or 6 messages like, hey, what did I do? Did I upset you? Did I offend you? You just stopped talking to me. Are we cool? Is everything cool? And my girlfriend's like, you ghosted him. And I'm like, what? And she's like, it's called ghosting when you just never reply to someone. Yeah. And I'm like, it is? I just thought it was being like kind of, I didn't think it needed to be said like, hey, let's just not talk. Right. But she's like, no, that's actually really rude. And I was like, I don't know. I feel kind of like, sometimes things just like I would have wanted something with him. I did like him. I was attracted to him, but I felt like, no, because I had passed with maybe they would talk or I don't know. I'm also not into being a player. I know that a lot of people like it, but I don't like to play with different, I can only handle one cock at a time. Like one thing gets filled at a time. Like let's move from one task to another. I don't know. I just can't. I'm not a serial dater. I know this blows the fantasy for a lot of people because I had a lot of guys, even say to me, is that why, you don't work in the business anymore? And I always say, my feelings just changed. I think when I was in my 20s, when I was younger, the whole playing around and all that was really exciting. Yeah. And now I just mentally can't handle it. I don't know.
You know what? I'm not a serial dater either.
It's too much for me. Yeah. I just want to focus on one person, get to know you. Didn't work out, close it, move on. I don't like to keep things open and mess with them and keep going back and forth. It's like, I just like to close it. And
but you know what? I would have done the same thing. Like this guy, if they would have, that guy, for instance, that he's a friend of the guy that you were dating.
Yeah.
I wouldn't reply to him either.
Right. No, and they were like tight. I mean, recorded
Yeah, I
albums
wouldn't.
together. I mean, this was